going on, YouTube? This is Daniel Rucker with True Table. Welcome to the table. Today, we'll be discussing a very, very important topic. All my topics, in my opinion, are important, but today we're going to be talking about why I believe most women's social circle is directly responsible for the demise of their relationships, and why it's very difficult for most women to have successful relationships if they lack this one key element, and that's the ability to think independently. We're going to talk about it. Yes, we are. So, while I have you here with me, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. We're going to get started. For all my new subscribers, I appreciate it. Thank you for joining in. But we're going to go ahead and get into the kitchen, because you know what happens in the kitchen. I'm going to get cooking. That's what we do over here. That's what we do. So, why do you think this way, Daniel? Why do you believe that most women lack the ability to think independently? Well, I'll tell you why. In my observation of most young ladies and the way that they migrate and do things, it seems that as a collective practice, most women need, desire, function, and rely on the opinions of the people that they classify important or relevant in their life. This is everywhere between their friends, their coworkers, their family members, so on, and the list goes on. And the problem with this is that depending on what she's trying to accomplish, sometimes will determine where she ends up, successful or non-successful, when it comes to dealing with a man. Why do I say this? I, in my experience, have found that two girls or a group of girls can be friends, but each have a different perspective individually of what they like in a man, right? And if one particular girl may not like your choice in men, or a couple of those girls in your social circle may not like your choice in men, then it's highly likely that the girl is going to have a hard time moving and leaning to her choice with that particular guy. So I'll give you an example on what happens, what this may look like. Let's say she meets Tony, right? Lisa meets Tony. And Tony is everything Lisa wants. Lisa goes back to the social circle, her hyenas, her friends. I call them hyenas. They cackle like hyenas a lot of times. So that's why I call them hyenas. So she goes back to the hyenas and she says, oh, I met this guy. You know, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. Well, then the questions start. How tall is he? Where does he work? What does he look like? So on, so forth, so on, so forth. They are critiquing this man down to his stature, to his career choice or place of employment, to his maybe nationality or ethnic background. And what it is it's almost like a meeting that is occurring of what Lisa wants to, Lisa's choosing when it comes to this particular guy. And it's crazy because the judgments are based in their very limited experience, their very bleak experience in life. And this is something that I wish, and I know that women who want to have successful relationships need to understand that if you want to have a successful relationship, your relationship is an independent choice. Your relationship is going to be you and that gentleman. Y'all, a pair, a unit. And that means that at times, what you choose as the person you want to rock with may not be what the collective thinks, may not be what the whole thinks. Because guess what? Everyone has their own level of individual perspective, desires, and so on and so on. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, I'm talking about it because it's something that in my early stages of dating, I had to realize that this was one of the core key components that when I started looking for a woman that I wanted to pursue, that was one of the first things I had to identify, and I had to identify it early. Why did I have to identify it early? I knew, one, I know me. Two, I know I'm not for everybody. That's okay. I don't need to be for everybody. If Lisa's happy with, me, great. That's all that matters. But I had to identify if the young lady that I was pursuing had the ability, had the cojones, had the wherewithal, had the strength, the grit to be able to stand on her choice. That was me. And a lot of ladies don't, in my opinion, have that ability. Social pressure and impressionable nature is why they choose for the collective and not the individual choice. So back to why there was something that I needed in myself, because I knew that the things that I was going to be looking to accomplish in my life, the things that I was going to be into, from my social practices to my goals, were not going to necessarily be popular opinion. And that if a woman was going to rock with me, she was going to have to be able to stand in my choice and understand that it may not be popular opinion. It may not be something that works for everybody, quote unquote. So one of the particular things that I know stood out about me prior to when people hear me talk and we actually have the ability to have conversations is that they would ask her, oh, okay, so you met Daniel. Okay. What did he do? Where did he go to school? So on and so forth. And when it usually got around to the fact that I never have stepped foot on the college campus, I am not formally educated, then some of their educated friends would start to be like, oh no, he's not good enough for you. Or if he doesn't have a bachelor's degree or a master's degree or whatever, then how can he be a quality man? And it was interesting because they would always come back to me and share these conversations with me. And the first thing that I would do is, I would have her I would ask her questions. I would start to ask her, why is that an important component for the success of the relationship that we're looking to build? You knew I didn't have an education, but you were totally okay with rocking with me. You knew that I didn't have a degree, but that didn't deter you from wanting to get to know me. So why now that your friends have brought it up as a point or a particular issue, a discrepancy, we might say, that now it's something that is troubling you? And I had to get her to start to understand your choice is just that. Mind you, to the fact that I'm very raw. So I used to say things like, you're pandering to these friends that you may not even be friends with 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And isn't this the same? Aren't these the same friends that when you had your birthday celebration, they didn't show up? Or aren't these the same friends that when you moved into your place that you can get none of them to help you pack boxes or move things across town? And see, this is why I wanted to talk about this particular topic, because there's so many women that are missing out on great men, great opportunities to be with a quality guy. And the main reason is not because the guys are not of quality, not because the guys are not qualified to be with you ladies. It's that a lot of times you have not sat back and figured out, what is it that I want? Me, the woman I am. What is it that I want and what I need? Not for the collective, not for the pageant, not for the hyenas, not to be able to market and sell to your freaking friends that probably don't even like you that much anyway. What is it that you want? And that's the question. See, if you're going to be in a relationship, unless it's going to be a polygamous type of ordeal and you're going to share this man, it should matter what you think. It should matter how valuable he is to you. It should matter what you guys as a unit are functioning, working, and building together. It should not matter so much about the people that are outside of the relationship. And this even goes to family. A lot of times, especially with women who have a immense cultural background, they struggle to detach off the titty of the culture. What do I mean? They are still breastfed, still have the umbilical cord to their mindset. They have not truly grown into the individual. See, it's one thing to be cultured. It's another thing to be a slave to your culture. I believe that you can be cultured, but you as an individual need to figure out and understand where you want to show up as an individual with the culture that you were bred under. And there's not enough women doing this. There's not enough women who are sitting back with the balls in the courage, in the ability to sit back and say, you know what do I want? What is the man that I'm going to open my heart up to? What is the man that I'm going to be committed to, be submissive to, loyal to, look like, flow like? What is it that I need? and be able to stand in the fire when it may not be popular opinion. To the point to where if you have women that are telling you they're not good enough for you, or that man is not to your standard, that you don't waver on your choice. This is what I would like to see. There are so many relationships that I have seen end or not fully grow to maturation from just this premise right here. Because I believe women struggle with the ability to really truly be individuals. Individuals in their mind, individuals in their style, individuals in their perspective, individuals in the way that they feel, individuals in the way in the choices that they make, individuals in the careers that they choose. I mean, it's so crazy how you can ask 100 girls what they chose to go to school for, and it always seems to be relatively the same career paths. You know, nursing, psychology, something in a public sector, social services. It's crazy to me. And it's okay to have a universal application for things that are relative and things that work. But I truly believe, ladies, that if you want to experience better outcomes, better relationships, you know, have longevity, have true happiness, and start to be able to build with the men that are worth your time, your individual time, well, then you need to understand that sometimes the man you choose is not necessarily going to be the man that everybody thinks is the right guy for you, or going to be the one that everyone sings his praises. That should not be your goal. Your goal should be to be building something that's long-lasting, sustainable, and that works best for your overall vision on life, your happiness, what actually makes your heart pitter-patter, float, tick, and all those, you know, cushy things. I want to encourage you women to step your game up and start to understand that making a choice is sometimes going to be met with ridicule, sometimes going to be met with a disapproval of certain parties of people. But a part of being a woman, part of being an adult, is to be able to make those choices and to stand on them firmly. This is not a popularity contest. Your romantic life shouldn't be a popularity contest. It should be just that, your romantic life, your choices, your happiness. So I wanted to jump on here today and encourage the women that if this is something that you're doing, stop it. It will be better for you to start making your own individual choices. Stop taking relationship advice from women who probably aren't happy themselves, probably out here throwing their box around and being hoes as it is, haven't had any type of track record of being able to really produce happiness with their own choices, and then have the audacity and the nerve to tell you what you should be doing with your life and the dude that you're into or you're digging or you're pursuing. Stand up and be the independent women that you claim to be on all the songs and all the movies and all of the articles and things like that. So that's what I wanted to touch on today. Thank you for hanging out with me for 13 minutes and some seconds. Yeah, this is what the content's about. This is what I'm here to do. I want to push progress and perspective. Thank you for those who joined me today. New subscribers, if you haven't had a chance already, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and hit the notification bell so you can see when I upload new content. And I'll be coming to you guys tomorrow with a brand new fresh episode, a brand new meal, because that's what I'm doing. I'm serving up these meals, you know, to feed you, to feed that mindset, to hopefully, you know, create some conversations and some understanding. That's what I'm here for. So it's Daniel Rucker with Truth Table signing out. Have a good one. Thank you.